Joe Burnich with Big West Marketing. I'm the author of The Service Business Money Machine. You get a copy at servicebusinessmoneymachine.com for free. I'll also put a link at the end of this video as well. But what I wanted to talk about in this video is the importance of image optimization. And yes, that sounds very scary, but what I'm trying to talk about this time is basically making sure your images still look nice and crisp and clear, but don't take up so much space on your website that it slows the load speed down of your website or causes problems with hosting and running out of space and stuff like that. So let's get started with image optimization right now. All right, so here's the deal. Whenever you take a picture with your iPhone, or any kind of digital phone, it's most likely going to make it so that that image, if it was blown up to a big poster size and printed out, that it would still look clear. For websites, that is way too much overkill. Okay, I like to keep all of them under 100 kilobytes. Okay, so a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's just like 2 or 3 megs. 2 or 3 megs for a picture is massive. I mean, that is 100 times bigger than you need it to be. And you can still shrink it down without losing any quality. And I'm going to show you a simple way to do that right now. So all you do, there's lots, I use Photoshop to do it, but I'm not going to expect you guys to go out and buy a $1,000 piece of software in order to optimize your images before you upload them to your website. And by the way, this is for people that want to do their own website uploading, not for people that are having, our team do it for you, or if you have a web designer that is on top of the image optimization. If somebody else is doing it for you, you don't need to worry about it, but it's good to know anyway. And I also want to state that this is different if you're uploading a picture to like Facebook. Facebook has built-in optimizers that will take all of that extra space out of there for you. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it with Facebook. This is only if you've got like a WordPress website or if you've done your own website. This is something that you will need to do yourself before uploading pictures to a website. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that was clear. I didn't state that at the beginning. All right. So what I recommend you do is you simply go to google.com. Here we are at Google, and you're going to type in free image optimizer and do a Google search. Okay, now what you're going to find is lots of options. Right here you can do imageoptimizer.net. Okay, that's an option there. I've used that one. I've tested it out. It works fine. You just basically choose your file, go through here, choose your file, your picture file, and then they will optimize it for you, and you can download it, or they'll email it to you. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Let's look at another one here. Optimizilla, same thing. You just drag your files over here, your picture files over here, and let them optimize it for you. And then if you really want to search around more, you can see here's 9 of the best free optimization tools on the internet. So you can see there's a lot of them. You test them out, and find out what works best for you. I don't know, if you do one every 2 months, then just jump on one of these guys here, one of those two. If you're going to be doing a lot of stuff and you got galleries that are constantly updating and you're doing 10s, 20s, hundreds of these a month, then it may be time to get something a little more robust, maybe spend a little bit of money on a program that can do them in bulk, etc. Okay, but that's all you do. And so once you get the new image and it's all optimized and it takes about half the a fraction of the space, then you're good to go. I'm going to show you an example real quick of how I do it in Photoshop. So let's open up Photoshop here. It takes a little while to open up Photoshop. It's such a giant program, so I'll pause the video and come back. Okay, so I put my computer on pause, or put the video on pause so I could go get Photoshop opened up. I also just took a selfie from my cell phone here, this cheesy little picture of myself. just to show you guys as an example how we do it. Now, like I said, we use Photoshop, which is an expensive and probably more complicated way than you want to do it. But this will allow me to show you how big of a difference you can make with optimization. So I'm looking at this picture and I'm like, oh, this is a pretty small picture. You know, just at first glance, it looks like a small picture. But let's go look and see. When I go save for web in Photoshop, it'll start giving me options as far as how big it really is. Now that you see this here, this is giving me a truer idea of how big this picture really is. So you can see it's just got these little hairs at the top of my head. I can scroll down to my eyes. This is how big the picture really is. And you won't know that unless you open it up in a program like Photoshop. It's kind of scary. My eyes look kind of psycho right there, don't they? But anyway, watch what happens if I take this over and say it's a JPEG, okay? And my options in Photoshop are I can have it be high, very high, maximum, low, medium. But what I can do is I can see how big it becomes. So right now it's 753K. So that's there's 1,000K in 1 meg. So it's definitely under the 1 meg, but it needs to be about a seventh of that size and still retain quality. So let's see what happens if I go from high down to low. Now it brought it down all the way down to 214K. Okay? And you can see I can also mess with this little quality tab. And, you know, take it down even farther. Now I got it down to 150. Now, like I said, I like to get them down to, man, if I can get that down to like 20K, 30K. So if I get out of here, and I'm just going to change the image size right now, 32 inches by 42 inches. You never would have known that just by looking at the picture on your computer. Never would have known. It's 32 inches by 42 inches. Do you think you really need it that big for your website? The answer is no. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it down to, let's say, 4 by 5. Plenty enough for a website for most places on a website. Maybe a little bit bigger if you got like a big slide or something like that. But let's take it down. Now you're like, oh, Joe, it's too tiny. No, that's not what it's going to look like. Remember, we got to go up here, and then we got to look at Save for Web. This is going to tell us. Now it's this size. That's about the size I wanted on my website. How big is it? Well, we're down to 200K, but I'm going to switch it over to JPEG instead of PNG. You don't need to know all this stuff. I mean, I can get it down to 6K. That's almost nothing, but it did affect the quality on 6K, so I want to take it off low. Let's go up to high. That's pretty good. What's the and that's at 24K, so I'm still way down there, way down there. What if I want to go maximum? Maximum would be 83K, but do I really see much of a difference between 83K and 24K? Nope. Now, I'm trying to make this video in HD. I don't know if after YouTube does their thing, if this is going to actually show up the different quality as I switch through this stuff, but I'm telling you right now, I can't see a difference between high and maximum. So why would I go with the maximum when I could go with high? Make sure my page loads up as fast as it can. Make sure my websites are as fast and as sleek as possible. And then I'll save this picture. And only after I do all that will I upload it to my website. Okay? So we see people that are putting like 5 megabyte pictures onto their websites, and it's doing nothing but slow you down, which can affect SEO in a small way. It can affect the site speed load, which means if people, sitting around waiting for your site to come up, especially on a phone, they're gone. They're on to your competitors that have optimized images. But like I said, you don't have to go through all that complicated stuff. That was just purely for examples. Instead, just go to like imageoptimizer.net, okay? And it'll do all that stuff for you that I just said. You don't have to make it complicated. You can make it very simple. But play with it and see what you can get as far as the size of your pictures. And just whatever you do not just download full-size images from your phone and throw them up on your website and think that you're good to go. Okay, you need to get them under 100K. I think down in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s maybe at the max. Unless you're doing some big giant image that's special on a certain page, then you still want to say under 100K, or at least around 100K if you can. There's certain exceptions, but for the most part, if you're just putting pictures on your website, optimize them first. Once again, the website I'm kind of promoting here is imageoptimizer.net. Okay, so check that out. You can always Google it. So once again, sorry, I kind of rambled on for a minute there, but once again, my name is Joe Burnich. I'm the author of The Service Business Money Machine. Our company is bigwestmarketing.com. If you want to get a free copy of this book, click on the link at the end or go to servicebusinessmoneymachine.com. I just ask you to cover shipping and handling, and then make sure you tell me what you think about the book, because I'm giving it away for free right now. Just shipping and handling is all we need to get this out to you. I'll drop it in the mail and send it out. So once again, my name is Joe Burnich with Big West Marketing Inc. Website is bigwestmarketing.com, and I will talk to you soon.